The Goodbye Fears monster is a great idea that can help children with their fears if it is used correctly. An approach that is learned in this case is the rights approach, which has its roots in the philosophy of the 18th century thinker Immanuel Kant and others like him. It's focused on the individual's right to choose for herself or himself. What makes humans different is that people have dignity based on their ability to choose freely in what they want to do with their lives. In this case, the children have the right to their privacy. Although their parents sign off on it, it is still not ethically right. It does not respect the moral rights of the children who are being recorded without their consent or knowledge. This then helps us with the ethical decision-making process. The first question that is asked in the ethical decision-making process is what benefits and what harms will each course of action produce, and which alternative will lead to the best overall consequences. Now, when I thought about this question, the answer I could best come up with is that the individuals who will benefit from it is the toy company, obviously because they can profit from the toy, and they could actually sell the recordings to people for money. Even though they state that they would give it to for free to child psychologists, researchers, how do we know that is the truth? They actually own the recordings, so they could do whatever they wanted with the recordings. The individuals who will be affected are the children who are being recorded without their knowledge. And then the alternative that I believe will lead to the best overall consequences is where the company waives the right to data privacy and does not send any recordings at all to psychology researchers or allow any recordings to be made. If the company actually wishes to do the right thing and is serious about doing the right thing, I believe that is what they should do. The next question is, what moral rights do the affected parties have, and which course of action best respects those rights? The parties have a moral right to privacy. A course of action that I believe best respects those rights is not recording the children and not sending the recordings to child psychology researchers. This option could help mainly because there are many parents that have worries about this toy, and this could alleviate their fears. A second option that I believe the toy company, could do is have two different Goodbye Fears monsters. One that connects to your smartphone, and then one that does not. The one that does not connect to your smartphone could still record, but it would be saved onto a memory card that only you could access. And that could be taken out and listened to at another time. You wouldn't have to worry about your smartphone being hacked, taken, whatever. The third question is, which course of action treats everyone the same? The course of action that I believe treats everyone the same is the one where the company does not send the research to the child psychologist. And then the second option, they could still make two different toys, one with a smartphone, one that is compatible with a smartphone, and one that is not. The fourth question is, which course of action advances the common good? The one that I believe advances the common good is the option of having, obviously, the two different toys. Ultimately, because it can help the children talk about their fears and let the parents learn what they are without having the fear of being recorded if they want that option or not. The last and final question is, which course of action develops moral virtues? The course of action that I believe develops the best moral virtues is the one where the company does not have an app, does not record the children, and does not send the data at all to any other individuals. This would work with the rights approach, basically because the children have the right of their privacy. If Mattel, the toy company, were to record the children, even with their parents' consent, it still would infringe on their privacy and their rights as a person. And I also believe this is a way for a lawsuit to happen. Even though it's stated that the recordings are recorded, the parents could still argue that the recordings are without their consent.